So today we're talking about the Amysen Smart Wall Socket. It's a smart device that you can plug into any existing outlet that provides smart functionality. This one here retails for $40 for a pack of 4, so roughly $10 per plug.
It's a pretty small, unassuming device, as you can see. The power button on the side just toggles on and off. So basically this plug just works to, via your phone or other apps, turn anything plugged into this off or on. There's actually, using the Smart Home, the Smart Life?
Smart Life
Using
app.
the Smart Life app, you can actually integrate your whole home into the smart
ecosystem. Yeah, so the plug can be controlled via the app, but also many smart TVs are supported by it, coffee makers, crock pots, electric blankets. There's a bunch of devices out there that all interface with the smartphone app. So when you download the app, this may work with many pre-existing smart devices you already have in your home.
You can actually set scenes, you can set other controls and commands, you can do so much more. The possibilities are truly endless with what you can do with just a couple of these plugs.
It will look at, for example, the temperature outside, the humidity levels, the air quality. You can set a parameter when the air quality drops below 50%, you turn on the air purifier.
Yes. And not just like time of day, but just setting, like you said, scenes. So Alexa, it's movie time. To dim the lights, turn on the TV, turn on the popcorn maker. There's so many applications with this, and you can make it as complex or as simple as you want. It doesn't just have to be lights on, lights off.
Amysen, a retailer on Amazon, sent us 4 plugs to use throughout our home to enable our non-smart devices. So I took 2 and found a practical use for them, and you took 2 and found a practical use for them. For example, I have these lighting fixtures set up in here, and I have 6 in total. I need 6 lighting elements to provide the lighting that I need for my shots, which might seem excessive to some.
To the untrained eye.
Yeah, but I need it. So that's 6 different things I have to go turn on or off every time I want to go shoot something. I have now 3 lighting elements plugged in to each smart plug. So that's 2 plugs, 3 lights per plug. So I can easily turn on or off one of them at a time. You can see the lighting over here is off, lighting over there is off. That's pretty cool in and of itself. But even more interesting than that is you can assign the plugs to a room. So I can say all of these plugs are in the studio. And then I can set a function where I say when I press this button, turn off all devices in the studio. So instead of having to turn them off individually, I can simply press one button and all the lights turn off, another button, they all turn back on.
Not to mention you can set schedules, so if you forget to turn off your lights at night, you can automatically at 2 a.m. they'll shut themselves off, which is a nice feature, so you're not going to burn out as many bulbs. I recently bought some new, a new straightener, new curling wands, some new hot hair tools that don't have an automatic shut-off timer, and I may have melted a few things in the 3 weeks that I've had it so far. So I used one of mine to set a timer on that outlet. So whenever I have a hot tool plugged into it, it will turn on, it'll stay on for 30 minutes and then it'll shut off. It goes up to like 410 degrees. It's a lot hotter than I'm used to. So I'm already struggling, like not.
And it doesn't have a built-in shut-off.
Yeah, and I'm used to my other tools have built-in shut-offs because I get distracted and I get pulled away. So the first time that got left on overnight was not good. I melted a few things, so we're lucky it wasn't a fire. So
a $10 plug's probably a worthwhile investment. What was the other use you found for the other plug?
Another very domestic use. So I have a older, cheaper crock pot. You know, if we go to church or we're out during the day and I want to do a crock pot meal, I can do a delayed start with my crock pot now. So I can set it all up, plug it in, and then using the app, turn on the crock pot a couple hours later. So our food's only cooking for 4 to 6 hours, not 8 to 10. But now for, you know, the $40 my crock pot was 5 years ago and a $10 plug, I now have a smart crock pot.
It's way, way more complex than just a simple timer, but still costs roughly the same, which to me, I think this basically removes timers from the equation. Because I don't know anyone that doesn't have...
How many timers going?
Yeah,
for various reptiles over the years? Like 2 or 3 each?
Well, and I always bought them from the pet store too, and like one timer is like 25 bucks.
I know so many times you've had to call family over to come, turn off a light or turn on a light or fix something for our reptiles because we were out of town or we were away from the house.
Yeah.
So this would have taken away a lot of your anxiety at the time. We're kind of delayed with that whole smart scene considering you're a tech reviewer.
I know. Well, the thing about this is I think it's a product that you don't realize its usefulness until you have it. Because I was asked to review it, and I initially thought, you know, I don't know. I can't even really, off the top of my head, think of even a use for it. And once you get a few things set up and going, you start to like think like, okay, there's actually a lot of things that I can automate with this.
The applications are pretty endless.
Yeah, so I noticed plugging it into the wall and unplugging it especially, it was actually kind of hard to take out. And I thought that was a little annoying at first, especially I have it in some kind of inconvenient places and it's hard to apply enough force to unplug it. But I realized that's by design, because if you have this plugged into something on the counter or wherever and you want to go to unplug the device that's plugged into this, you don't want the whole plug coming out with it. There are a few quirks of the user interface that I found less than desirable. So when you want to set a timer, you only set it by seconds. And you only modify the duration by scrolling to the number of seconds that you want to set the timer to. So for example, if you want to set a 2-hour shutoff, right? Like I turn on my lights and I want them to shut off after 2 hours, I have to scroll all the way to 7,200 seconds, which...
It's a lot of scrolling.
That's a lot of scrolling, and that's only 2 hours. That doesn't seem like super impractical to me. To set these up, you have to plug them in close to an existing router.
All of them?
Well, you do one at a time.
But you have to do all of them individually.
You have to do them all individually, yeah. And you have to have both the phone and the plug close to an existing router, and they connect to one another. 2 of them, it took probably 5 or 10 minutes each. They just kept failing to connect. Now, I've never had a problem with them staying connected. So I've unplugged these for a while, several hours, and plugged them back in, and they instantly reconnect. So ever since that initial setup, they've worked great. But just don't get discouraged if at first they like don't connect right. It may take several attempts, as was the case with me.
The other minor critique that's a little inconvenient is that it doesn't work with Siri or Apple HomeKit. And we're kind of diehard Apple people, so that was a little bit of a letdown. They're pretty streamlined, but they're a little bit too bulky, at least for our plugs, for us to be able to plug 2 into the wall at the same time. So you either have to hook things to a surge protector or use different outlets. And
speaking of the surge protector, there's probably a good point to bring this up. You only want to have something plugged into that isn't going to be irrevocably damaged by being unexpectedly shut off. So
anything you're not going to yank out of the wall.
Yeah.
On its own, probably shouldn't go on one of these.
Yeah, so your computer, you don't want to just like, shut off your computer with your phone without any warning. It doesn't send like any like warning signal, it just shuts off.
These were just some of the options that we came up with these smart plugs, but be sure to let us know down in the comments any other ideas you might have or any ways that you're able to integrate them into your home. Also, if you want some more Mrs.techfox videos, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. And also while you're down there, check out our giveaways that we run every month. This next month we're doing a Tautronics gaming headset. And if you want to check out that review, click that link right up there in the cards and you can get my impressions on it. A very cheap, affordable headset that is surprisingly pretty good for what you're paying for. And if you found this video insightful and or enjoyed it, then don't forget to like and subscribe so that you are notified when our newest content is ready to watch. Thanks for watching, and catch you guys next time. You got to keep it in that box.
Oh, okay, in the box. Is it over here? Okay.
That way, if I'm doing stuff, it's not going to